up, Tzu Chi volunteers visit Botswana to hold blessing ceremonies for local residents. A Burmese refugee who scavenged for a living changed his family's life around thanks to Tzu Chi. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee Shioda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Southern Africa as Tzu Chi volunteers from Lesotho visited Botswana for the 11th time to hold 2 Buddha Day ceremonies for local residents. To carry out this mission, volunteers from Lesotho traveled for 700 kilometers and overcame a scarcity of resources to give the residents the opportunity to honor the Buddha and pray with sincerity.
To prepare for the ceremony, volunteers practice diligently. Tzu Chi volunteers from Lesotho are carrying out a mission in Botswana by themselves for the first time. Holding a Buddha Day ceremony at the villagers' gathering place, volunteers helped 64 residents perform Buddha Day rituals despite the lack of electricity. Later, a second Buddha Day ceremony is held using the volunteers' truck bed as the ceremonial table because the venue in Old Naledi is not available. Tzu Chi volunteers from Southern Africa visit Botswana for the 11th time. 5 female volunteers from Lesotho have driven 700 kilometers on a new route to deliver care here. At the volunteers' gathering, a volunteer in training talks about how to control high blood pressure and diabetes.
Take care. You can live up to 25 years under medication.
During the 4-day visit to Botswana, the volunteers from Lesotho not only served the residents, they also seized the opportunity to learn from each other, walking diligently on the Tzu Chi path.
Next, we have a series of reports taking place in Malaysia. The recent Tima camp held at the Jingsi Hall in Kuala Lumpur attracted about 200 medical professionals from 12 Malaysian states. At the camp, the participants shared real medical cases in hopes of promoting humanistic medical culture. The event organizers also hopes this camp will help volunteers prepare for the International Medical Forum taking place in the country next year.
At the Tima Camp Malaysia, held at the Jingsi Hall in Kuala Lumpur, the drum troupe, formed by 10 Tima members, performs at the opening ceremony. About 200 medical professionals from 12 Malaysian states have joined this camp, which promotes humanistic medical culture through sharing real cases.
我们所看到的各种各样在马来西亚的医疗的
Most of the medical forums in Malaysia are focused on knowledge. Rarely do we see camps that focus on humanistic medical culture. We hope such medical culture will be well received by the doctors and nurses in Malaysia.
我们希望这种医疗人文呢，会慢慢被马来西亚的医务人员慢慢可以接受。
And I hope after this camp, when we go out to the real world, let's make a change, let's make a difference.
A head nurse from Johor, Pekiem, has been searching for a way to combine her work with charity. Learning about Tzu Chi for the first time, she found her answer at this camp.
Before this, if we saw somebody like alongside the road, they are like poor, we just see, we just give money 1 ringgit, but we never think about want to help more. So maybe after this, I will try to do something.
As the medical professionals focus diligently at the 2-day camp, the organizers are already thinking about the International Medical Forum that will be held in Malaysia next year.
我们也借由这一次的马来西亚的Tima 联谊会呢。
This Tima gathering is our warm-up for the International Medical Forum. It mobilizes our doctors and nurses. We hope more committed doctors will come join us at the Tima event for Asia in Kuala Lumpur next year.
是有看到更多有心的医生来投入在我们的医疗领域。
This camp's theme of medical professionalism with love hopefully will inspire more medical professionals to combine their work with charity to alleviate the pain and suffering of those in need.
Not only holding forums to discuss Tzu Chi's humanistic medical culture, TIMA members and a group of volunteers recently visited 2 villages to hold medical outreach to help alleviate sickness for the impoverished.
Switching from a bus to a small truck and then traveling on foot, these Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia finally arrive at Kampong Bukit Asu. Volunteers take the blood pressure of villagers at this free clinic.
I'm very happy today because the doctor came to our village to treat us and give us health tips.
Because these individuals live in remote areas which are relatively impoverished, even small illnesses experienced by these indigenous residents can drag on and become more serious illnesses. TIMA has held this clinic service here for 14 consecutive years.
There are distance and traffic problems. The closest clinic is a 30-minute drive away.
Here they don't even know that they have a problem, so we have to see them, serve them, and then treat them. So it's a very different experience.
And in another village, Kampong Lubuk Lekong, there's an even more serious problem.
There are a lot of social problems, such as sniffing glue or doing drugs or drinking alcohol. There can be a lot of bad behavior caused by moral issues.
TIMA's looking out for the health of all these indigenous people, hoping to reverse their current habits and also leading the next generation to thrive long into the future.
Next, we meet Hanif, a Burmese refugee who escaped to Malaysia with his family. Since his youth, Hanif has scavenged to help make ends meet for his family. In the past, as the family observed Ramadan, they could only eat biscuits for their evening iftar meal. Let's see how the completion of Hanif's education at the UNHCR Tzu Chi Education Center has helped him find gainful employment. Ramadan this year is very different for Hanif's family. They can finally enjoy a lavish iftar meal each evening.
Last time we cannot eat, we drink water and then we eat biscuit for buka puasa.
It's hard to imagine that the family of 8 would simply drink from water bottles stuffed in the refrigerator to stave off hunger.
We less drink already because we got food to eat. That's why we cannot throw, we cannot sell. This is our memorize.
In 2005, Hanif and his family escaped from Myanmar to Malaysia. When he was 8, Hanif scavenged to help make ends meet. It was only when Hanif received help from Tzu Chi that he was able to change his fate through education. Getting an elementary diploma from the School for Refugees set up by Tzu Chi and the UNHCR at the age of 16, Hanif couldn't find a job for 3 years after graduation.
Tell the boss and finish the graduation. They still don't want. I'm very sad, cry at the night time because I'm hungry.
Thanks to the director of the Tzu Chi Free Clinic Center in Kuala Lumpur, Hanif finally got a job last year.
I employ him because I really need a translator that speaks the Rohingya language, English as well as Malay. He was a perfect candidate.
With a steady income, Hanif has been able to provide for his family. His mother's diabetes is also under control thanks to dietary restrictions, which is one of the biggest blessings that came out of this gainful employment. Education is really the only way to end the cycle of poverty. Recently, the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter held an event in Manila that awarded scholarships to 955 impoverished students, ranging from elementary school to university.
These Tzu Chi scholarship students are in high spirits as they receive their educational grants at today's scholarship ceremony. Tzu Chi volunteers share their blessings and their happiness with the 955 students from impoverished households that are being awarded here today. Recipients include students of all ages, from elementary to university level.
Now I really understand that I need to not only be filial to my parents, but I should also give back to society for the charity that has helped me continue my education.
Thank you all, not just for helping me, but for helping so many people. I hope you can continue to help many more like me. because there are many more people trapped in a life of poverty.
Some students also give some short skits based on their real-life experiences. One shows a poor girl begging in the streets and stealing the purse of Visitación Cuesta, a Tzu Chi volunteer. Cuesta did not get angry, but instead offered assistance. The moving performance especially touched Rosalie Caponcul, the person playing Cuesta.
My mother is very strict with me, but I believe this is good for me. So as I grow on life's path, I don't rebel against her. It was all a kind of inspiration for me.
I'm really very happy. I'm not sure how I can really explain it, how I felt when I saw Rosalie playing me. Actually, I never had any expectation for this kind of recognition.
You're gonna change your parents. You're gonna change your situation. You're gonna change your life now. But you can change your future.
Today, these students recognize that their economic situation should never limit their dreams or life's possibilities. 18 scholarship recipients that are graduating from university are also recognized today as positive role models for all the other students.
Continuing our series about changing one's fortunes, we visit an auto mechanic in Yunlin, Taiwan. Ding grew up poor, but he doesn't dwell on his impoverished background. Instead, he believes he was fortunate to meet people who helped him reach his achievements. Making a difference in the lives of a few adolescents, his garage always has a vacancy for students assisted by the Taiwan Fund for Children and Families, as he selflessly passes on his 20 years of car repair knowledge to these young apprentices.
If you don't give children the right instruction and they are led astray, then one problem becomes two. Then we don't know how our society will turn out to be. You can't just stand there without doing anything.
Ayu is a third-year junior high school student, and every Monday he comes to learn as an apprentice at this auto garage. He eagerly looks forward to this day each week.
The boss says that coming here and suffering a little is good for us as we learn a skill. I actually think it's fun to come here.
I'm much like you, entering society and learning a trade. I've been through this too.
Ading is always standing next to Ayu in this auto garage, carefully checking to see if every action is correct. Ading was born into a very poor family, and after graduating from junior high school, he immediately became an apprentice. Taking a look at Ayu, he sees himself some 30 years ago.
I am from a humble background, so when it comes to these underprivileged children, I can empathize with them, especially these vulnerable children.
Ayu doesn't eagerly bring up his family background, as he's cared for by the Fund for Children and Families. He found the needed familiar warmth here.
I'm very nervous if he takes the wrong bus, and I always look out the window. If I can help, then I'll go rush out.
The boss and his wife are really nice to me and treat me well. I really feel like they are treating me like one of their own children.
With the full support of his wife, Ading began his own business 20 years ago and was committed to passing down his knowledge to disadvantaged families or dropouts, as long as they had an interest in this subject.
I try to leave an opening for children from the Fund for Children and Family to give them a chance to learn a skill here.
Ading and his wife have been successful in reversing the fortunes of many children.
We work hand in hand to jointly raise these children. You may think we aren't really helping children much, but at a minimum, they learn self-reliance, which can help reduce social problems, which I believe is the greatest reward.
Ading has helped many children such as Ayu over the years. There's a good chance that this positive energy can continue to spread.
With the experience I have, I definitely want to help others and don't want to let anyone down.
Recently in Indonesia, a bamboo coin bank homecoming event was held at Cempaka Putih of central Jakarta, where people of different faiths gathered to donate their love to help the less fortunate. When donating to help others, one cannot underestimate the importance of a coin.
Sometimes when I go to the market and see money that has fallen on the ground, I would pick it up and deposit it into the coin bank for donation. I've received help before, so I want to help others.
Last November, Teresa Cartini, 2 fathers and 17 associate priests, adopted a coin bank from Tzu Chi. Today, they are donating the filled coin banks as they understand that Tzu Chi does not discriminate when helping others.
Tzu Chi has initiated a new method of helping others. The campaign has helped open up people's minds and the thought that giving is not only the privilege of the rich.
Although he was doubtful at first, Father Vitas Rubianto also began saving money to donate after understanding the true spirit of Tzu Chi.
Tzu Chi's bamboo coin bank campaign isn't about how much people donate, but the gathering of strength. Uniting to help others is the most beautiful thing in the world.
All giving within their ability, these kind-hearted people of Cempaka Putih of Jakarta, Indonesia, do their part to help those in need. Every month, Tzu Chi volunteers visit a senior daycare center in New Taipei City's Yonghe district to care for the seniors. Often, volunteers bring lively songs and games for the seniors to enjoy. Let's take a look.
The joyful songs and the motions that accompany them are simple and easy to learn. One senior, Miss Lin Mei Qing, never misses a chance to visit with volunteers.
We look forward to your coming. It's always lively. Sometimes children come here to play.
One Tzu Chi volunteer, Miss Huang Juan Chun, is 70 years old herself, but she is always excited to spread good cheer to other seniors and to provide companionship for those who don't get to socialize often.
Although I'm also old, my heart is young. Whenever I have a chance to come, I'll be here to accompany them and lift their spirits. I want to see them laughing and happy. That makes me happy.
The volunteers visit Yonghe's Senior Care Center once a month to spread some cheer to the seniors. For volunteers, it feels like caring for their own mother or father.
My father has already passed away, but one elderly uncle really resembles my father. And I really put my heart into sharing some good cheer with him. Seeing him smile, in my heart is a feeling that's very hard to describe.
Tzu Chi volunteers will be back here again next month, spreading more love among the elderly in their community.
In our next report, we meet an elderly couple in Kaohsiung who will celebrate their wedding anniversary in a memorable way thanks to the staff of a care center. Upon learning that the senior couple's wedding anniversary is in October, the staff signed them up for special wedding photo sessions.
90-year-old Grandma Guan is wearing a festive red dress paired with white high heels. She's very excited for today because she's preparing to get her wedding photos taken.
I want to wear white. Other colors are too gaudy.
Compared to Grandma Guan, who couldn't sleep very well the night before, wheelchair-bound Grandpa Bian seemed calm. A staff member and Guan used the time to practice fixing Bian's tie for his suit, and soon they're ready. Even with the pouring rain, everyone set out to take photos.
October 5th is their wedding anniversary. We're thinking of taking photos or preparing a banquet. The staff here carried out the preparations themselves. Luckily, we found out that a bridal company has a special photo session, and we quickly applied for them.
The long-term care center director Liang Haojun pushes Bian everywhere. On the other hand, the social worker continues to stay at Guan's side, helping her get dressed and put on makeup. Not only do they help the couple prepare for their dream wedding photo shoot, but they're also in the photos for the family picture.
I remember that my father-in-law wanted my son to get his picture taken for memory's sake. Now it's Grandpa Bin that wants to take pictures in order to capture his memories with all of us.
Grandpa Bian and Grandma Guan have finally taken their first wedding photos, which are not only sweet for them, but have created meaningful memories for everyone.
Also about the elderly in Taiwan, Cai Haidong has continued to enthusiastically serve his neighborhood as a borough head for more than half a century. He makes regular contributions to neighborhoods in need, and recently, on his 100th birthday, he donated an ambulance, making his 100th birthday more than just a milestone.
With an energetic demeanor, Cai Haidong is over 100 years old and is among the community's older bureau heads.
He does a lot of good and brave deeds. When he was 90, he still wanted to go with me to ride a roller coaster. But both of us have been borough heads the longest.
I'll walk a little bit to patrol our neighborhood, see if everyone is safe.
Cai has served as bureau head for more than 50 years and sticks to the post even today. A farmer his entire life, he lives frugally in order to use his money to help others. His wife passed away in a car accident 50 years ago, and on his 100th birthday, he told his children what he desired.
I saved some money to purchase an ambulance for the hospital.
Being charitable is a very good thing. We all stand by him.
As long as it doesn't affect his livelihood, we will help him fulfill his wish. He doesn't need a caretaker, and the money that would go to one can be donated for good.
Finally, Cai's daughter stated that while her father's health is a cherished gift, his generosity is the greatest wealth to the family.
At Fuding Hospital in Fujian, China, Tzu Chi volunteers are spreading humanistic values and an appreciation of our natural environment. To encourage environmental awareness, volunteers and employees of the hospital have cooperated to establish a recycling point at the hospital.
Right outside the Fuding Hospital in Fujian, China, they have created a new recycling point. Dealing with limited space, eventually this location between the emergency room and the inpatient building was selected. In addition to Tzu Chi volunteers, doctors, nurses, and administrators at the hospital all came out to pitch in.
We're doing this recyclable sorting activity because we want all our colleagues within the hospital to see this and hopefully be influenced. Hopefully in the future, everyone will participate.
Everyone thought this area would be suitable for the recycling because the rain wouldn't pour in.
This really gives us all a very convenient method to recycle. Before, everyone thought, oh, there's no place for it and I haven't got time. So this is really going to be a great help.
The hospital is really like a big home, so we want to raise environmental awareness among all of our colleagues here.
Here at Fuding Hospital, recycling has been made more convenient. A love for planet Earth is shown through one's actions, and now staff and community residents can easily put that love into action.
Doing good deeds isn't limited to those with money, only those with the will. Two hairstylists from Taipei headed south to Tainan to incorporate traveling around Taiwan with doing something more meaningful. They gave free haircuts to those willing to donate their money to a good cause. At the end of the program, we will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.